What if gravity, this invisible yet all-powerful force that keeps us grounded to Earth, suddenly disappeared? Imagine this. You're holding a cup of coffee, standing in your kitchen, when suddenly the coffee floats to the ceiling. Your feet no longer touch the ground, and the very air around you starts feeling unusual. What would happen if gravity, as we know it, just turned off? Let's dive into this fascinating and mind-bending hypothetical. Buckle up. We're about to enter a gravity-free zone. Okay, first, we need to understand what gravity does. It's the force that pulls mass together. Everything that has mass has gravity. Gravity holds planets in their orbits around stars, keeps our atmosphere hugging Earth, and prevents us and everything around us from drifting into the abyss of space. It's like an invisible glue holding the entire universe in a delicate balance. Lose it for even a second, and nothing is the same. So, you're in your kitchen and gravity shuts off. The very first thing you'd notice is that you're weightless. That's right, you start floating, just like astronauts do in space. But wait, let's consider some other surprising things. All loose objects in your vicinity, that mug of coffee, your phone, even specks of dust would follow suit. They would float randomly in the air, colliding with everything else. You might think it's fun at first, but chaos quickly ensues. Now, gravity affects more than just us humans. It anchors air molecules close to Earth, forming the atmosphere. If gravity suddenly disappeared, our blanket of breathable air would start dispersing into space. A strange, invisible bubble of chaos would begin to form. Without the atmosphere, you'd also lose air pressure, and within seconds, you'd find it extremely difficult to breathe. It's scary, but don't worry, you'd still have a few minutes before unconsciousness sets in. Let's move on to the big stuff. Buildings, trees, and everything else bolted or tethered to Earth wouldn't magically stay in place. Construction materials rely on their weight and grounding to remain stable. Without gravity, everything from towering skyscrapers to suburban houses shrinks down to a floating pile of materials. And yes, humans, animals, trees, all of us would start floating upward too. It's exactly the kind of chaos Earth was not built to handle. Now, let's zoom out, way out. Imagine Earth from space. Our planet stays in orbit around the sun because of the sun's gravitational pull. If gravity switched off, Earth would lose that pull instantly. Instead of continuing its orderly revolution around the sun, Earth would slingshot into a straight-line trajectory through space. Yikes! But wait, let's layer more complexity on. Remember Earth's spinning motion? Every day we rotate once around our axis. This spin would become crucial in a gravity-free world. Without gravity holding us down and friction disappearing, loose objects and even the oceans themselves would start drifting. Worse, the spin would likely fling water from our oceans across the planet. Massive, chaotic tidal waves leaping into the sky, accelerating at breakneck speeds, could batter Earth into nothingness. Not a pretty picture. And that's not all. Gravity also keeps us protected in so many ways. It's one of the reasons why our bones and muscles function efficiently. Astronauts who experience zero-gravity environments for extended periods always return to Earth with weakened muscles and brittle bones. On our suddenly gravity-free Earth, everyone, yes, even your ultra-fit gym-obsessed friend, would begin to suffer health problems. Our bodies are just not designed to live without gravity. But here's where things really get weird. The center of the Earth, our planet's core, wouldn't magically stay where it is. The molten iron and nickel that churn and flow within Earth would break apart, and the lack of gravity would let these materials violently disperse. Essentially, Earth's internal structure would collapse in on itself, resulting in planet-wide chaos and potentially the end of what we call home. It's far beyond just inconvenient, it's apocalyptic. Now, let's play devil's advocate for a moment. Could we survive in a world without gravity? Maybe, if given enough technological time and know-how. For instance, in space, astronauts make use of artificial gravity by spinning space stations. If we understood gravity well enough, Could we create artificial gravity systems for Earth? Could we design new survival pods, build habitats, and tether everything to something steady? It's possible, but would take years, if not centuries. But why would gravity, an inherent force of nature, ever just stop functioning? For the sake of this scenario, let's imagine gravity isn't a law of physics, but rather a switch, a universal stop button. If someone or something flipped it, would there be a way to reverse it? Could scientists fight back and fix gravity before irreversible destruction? Perhaps we'd need discoveries that are far beyond modern physics to pull that off. Scientists like Einstein and Newton have given us ideas of how gravity operates, but even they couldn't reveal every secret of this mighty force. In the end, gravity isn't just something that allows us to walk firmly on the ground or measures our weight. It's a fundamental mechanism anchoring the cosmos together. It governs not just Earth, but every celestial body in the universe. If that force were switched off, the effects wouldn't just be local, they'd be universal. Stars, planets, galaxies, black holes, you name it, they would all fall into pure chaos and cease to function as we see them today. So let's take a moment to appreciate the coexistence of gravity in our lives. It's understated, always there, but fundamental to absolutely everything. Without gravity, the world as we know it simply wouldn't be possible. From keeping us grounded physically to holding the universe together, gravity is the universe's unspoken hero. The next time you trip over your own feet, blame it on gravity, but also take a moment to thank it for making life possible in the first place. And, as for our little experiment here, what if gravity were turned off? Let's just be happy that's a question we're only exploring hypothetically. Gravity, please don't ever leave us. Thanks for tuning into this episode of What If Facts. If you enjoyed learning about this wild, hypothetical scenario, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more mind-bending explorations of science, technology, and the far reaches of human imagination. Until next time, stay grounded. Or, not too grounded. Bye for now.